The worst illiterates in Nigeria are those who confidently come online and say we are South. What Nigeria cannot do does not exist. In the entire world geography, there is nowhere, anywhere in the world that is called South, only in Nigeria.
One of the most popular questions here is that you are Igbo and that you are denying that you are not Igbo. Are you Igbo or not?
I'm not.
Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Fred Nnwaike coming to you from our studios in Chicago with another edition of Bold Talk on Highland TV. And as usual, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are around the world. Yes, like the young man said, there is nothing Nigeria cannot do. And as you go into the video, you're going to see one of those things Nigeria can do, or one of those things Nigeria cannot do, whichever way you look at it, will be Onyesom Wike, who calls himself Nyesom Wike, who has been completely brainwashed by the Fulani cabal. Not just him, people from his region, starting when Igbos were massacred in the north and going all the way through today. He's so brainwashed that he no longer knows who he is. And like Jesus Christ said to one of his disciples, before the cock crows, you're going to deny me 3 times. And what did you see Wike just do in that soundbite I gave you from an interview I'll play later with Dele Momodu? He denied his Igbo-ness 3 times. Dele Momodu expressly asked him, people say you deny that you're not Igbo. Are you Igbo? And he said, I'm not. 3 times. But before I get to the Dele Momodu interview with Wike, let me use this Southerner and his commentary to support this brainwash that the Fulani cabal has cleverly done to Igbo neighbors and Igbos who live in those regions, and now put them in a defensive mode that makes it seem like being Igbo is leprotic or something. I'm Igbo, proudly Igbo, and will always be Igbo.
Only in Nigeria you will see people doing political jamboline in order to checkmate their fellow Nigerians. Igbophobia is the reason why South was created. Let's even assume South exists. So it means that the 6 states, which is Delta, I'm included in South. So I'm a South boy. I'm a Delta state boy. But despite that, I'm an Igbo boy in Delta. And when I'm talking of Igbophobia, the worst people that have Igbophobia are even we, the Igbos, in the so-called South. You are scared. We in our South Igbos are scared, whether it's Rivers, whether it's Akwa Ibom, whether it's Kogi. We are scared that the Igbos will dominate us. Are they not dominating Nigeria? Are they not dominating Nigeria? Talk less of you, their brothers.
Now let's address the interview Onyesom Wike had with Dele Momodu. Note that I called him Onyesom Wike. That's his name. Onyesom, which means who is with me. Wike, which means a kid that is born to be strong, something like that. But before we get to whether Wike is Igbo or not, which to me is irrelevant, anybody can be what they want to be. As you listen to the interview, you're going to see that regardless of the fact that this video is about the shame of him denying who he is, that's what my commentary is about. But let's not be closed-minded. Let's be open-minded to some of the things he said. Some of the things he says makes sense. I think Igbos and Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB also need to listen carefully to some of the things Wike is saying, maybe saying it in the wrong setting, but Igbos say that Nwatakiri na-ebe na-atụ in a certain direction, which means when a kid is crying and pointing in a certain direction, if his mom is not there, his dad is there. So Igbos must stop discounting what non-Igbo neighbors are saying, or what Igbos outside Igbo land are saying about the fear of Igbo domination. I believe Igbos don't want to dominate anybody. It's just their personality. However, if your neighbors who are closest to you and your brothers and sisters who are outside your boundaries continue to say that they have a fear of your tendency to dominate, I think it's incumbent on you to dialogue with them and make them understand that your personality does not translate into your intention. If somebody feels you want to dominate him, they're going to resist. Your wife will resist your domination. She wants to be loved. She doesn't want to be dominated. A husband with a domineering wife will resist it. Even your children will resist your domination. With that said, let's listen to the interview and I'll come back on the other end and address some of the things Onyesom Wike, not Yesom Wike, Onyesom Wike is saying.
One of the most popular questions here,
yes,
is that you are Igbo and that you are denying that you are not Igbo. Are you Igbo or not?
I'm not. You see, people must understand things. We were in the eastern region. Nobody can deny that fact. We're in the eastern region. People interpret my name as Wike. They don't understand the history of Wike. In my play, Wike means a newborn baby. See, Wike is a new baby.
That's a lie. Wike is not a new baby. The closest thing he came to being right is the first part where he acknowledged Nwa being a baby. Wike, Ike has nothing to do with new. Wike is a strong baby. And you could translate it a lot of ways. Wike, a strong baby. Ike's chat, a whole lot of ways. But it's a derivative of the Igbo language. He's just been brainwashed by the Fulani and they put a lot of billions of naira in his pocket.
Right? They said Wike is a strong person or whatever. That's not my point. Okay, assuming I'm an Igbo. Assuming I'm an Igbo, as they said. So I should allow criminals in Igbo land to kill security agencies. Assuming that.
No, they don't want. No, sir. They don't want you to deny your Igbohood. They say, for example, your first name, Ezenwo, is an Igbo name.
No, you see, that's why we have to be careful. My name is Ezebunwo. Ezebunwo.
Again, that's a lie. Eze is king. Ezenwo, Nwo is a dialect that is spoken more in the Imo side of Igbo dialects. But to my understanding, Nwo is them. Ezenwo, their king. Wike is full of it. Honestly, to me, I'm doing this just for the sake of getting history straight. I don't give a rat's ass if Wike or any reverse person or any Delta person or anybody else wants to be Igbo or not. I'm proud to be Igbo. However, it's important to keep these records straight. But again, to what Wike is saying, assuming that he's Igbo, should he let criminals from Igbo land come to River State and commit crime? Categorically, I say no. I support him on that. I don't care if he's Igbo or not. IPOB shouldn't take their things to River State. If I'm governor of River State, as an Igbo person, say during the military days where they post anybody to any region, and you bring that to my state, my job is to protect my citizens, not to play sentiments of whether I'm Igbo or not. So even though the issue in this episode is to talk about the shame of Wike denying that he's Igbo, he's an Igbo man. But listen to him carefully. There are certain things he's saying that needs to be listened to, and those concerns need to be addressed. When our neighbors are saying certain things about what we as Igbos do, we need to listen.
Now, you see, nobody can deny the fact of affinity with Igbos. Nobody can deny the fact that in our place, your mother may come from Igbo, your father may come from Igbo. We have had that cultural affiliation and affinity. You cannot deny that. Take for example, in Benin or Edo State, they've been with the Southwest. Is that not correct? Is that not correct? There are so many names. Yeah, Apata. There's Apata in Edo. There's Apata in Yoruba. So are you not saying the Apata in Edo is the same Apata in Yorubaland? There is spelling different. They may have a relationship, but that does not mean that you are the same. You know, people when they want to do something, they assuming I'm an Igbo, do not consider. Assuming I'm an Igbo, do not consider. But I am not in River State, right? So because I'm an Igbo in River State, so I should allow criminals from my area, who they say as Igbos, to go and kill security forces, agents. Is that what I'm trying to say? I'm not one politician that for whatever political manage, I will not change my identity. I will not. I will not. And people should understand that. I've given you a difference between Apata in Edo, Apata in the West. Are they the same Apata? They may have some relationship. When you have people here say, I'm from Igbo, they may be right because of the name. But you cannot say, let them trace my history. I'm not going to run away. I have nothing against the Igbos. I've lived with them. They're very good people, very entrepreneurial, very innovative. But that does not mean I will change. I will not do that. And even if you convince me today, I'm an Igbo person. Okay, let me say I'm Igbo. Igbo people, I'm Igbo today. So does that say I should go and allow miscreants to go and kill innocent security agencies. Look at what one boy, I don't know his name. I hear you interviewed him. I don't know. Okay, let me remember. I was told. They say he has IPOB. You know his name?
Mazi Namdekanu.
Okay, I don't know his name. Now, thank you very much. Now, they said,
Governor.
He said, no. I have never in my life, in fact, from what somebody said, see, I don't read all this. I'm not in social media. I'm not into all this.
But it's all over all the newspapers.
No. In fact, people tell me, my Commission of Information, my SA media, they tell me what they read. I said, I've never met this guy. He said, oh, they supported me. How? From where? I've never met you. Igbos live in River State. I don't know now, what do you call it, Mazi? I don't know what's called Mazi or whatever. Okay, he says Mazi. That I've never met him. I've never seen him. Never one day. And people just bring sentiments upon sentiments upon sentiments. I will never in my life deny the Igbos. When we're in Eastern Nigeria, we have a relationship. Nobody can deny that. And it was that strong. But to say, okay, assuming we're Igbos, assuming, but River State is River State. And by the Constitution, this local government is called Oyibo local government. Now you come from Abia State to change the name of a constitutionally recognized local government that is no longer Oyibo, it's now Obibo. You come to Port Harcourt local government to tell them this is what local government should be. Who would allow that to happen?
Again, this is where we run into the danger of a single story. What Wike said there is said so beautifully, and it makes sense on the surface. But there are two sides to that story. One is nobody should come from Abia State or Anambra State or any state in Igbo land to change local government names in River State. It's none of your business. But what Wike failed to address is the Fulani capture of South Nigeria. And it was manifested worse in River State, where prior to the war, you had areas in River State, especially around Port Harcourt, in the Ikwere and Eche area, where you had places like Omomasi. Omomasi means the children of mercy. And a lot of Omo, different things. And when the Fulani capture happened and the brainwash started, they had those communities, their names, which were clearly Igbo names, changed, added R to the front of the word. So the first letter became an R. So instead of Omomasi, now you have Rumwomasi. What's Rumwomasi? Can Wike explain what? But it's irrelevant to this discussion. But what I'm saying is that he talked about the wrong side of the argument, which is that IPOB has no business coming to River State to try to make changes. They don't have that authority anyway. It's just hogwash talk. But why would a governor stoop so low to be fighting toe-to-toe with Nnamdi Kanu on what Nnamdi Kanu has no authority in your state? So let's make that clear. On one hand, IPOB has no authority to do what they were trying to do. But on the other hand, stop denying the name changes, Wike. Igbo names in River State were carefully changed to sound non-Igbo. And the only way you could live that way as a 60-something-year-old person is that you should be ashamed of yourself. That because of money put in your pocket, a Fulani man comes to your region and brainwashes you to change your name. You're a disgrace.
What he said is that Biafra covers 13 states and Rivers happens to be one of those states.
Okay, can I tell you?
Covers. Yeah, that's what
can I tell you? Can I tell you? It's with all due respect to you, don't say I was not abusive, but please confirm it to me. It's very insulting to Rivers people. Very insulting. You know what happened in the Civil War. Everybody knows what happened. Some people supported Biafra. Some people were with Nigeria. You know that. So it will be wrong for him to say during the Civil War that everybody that was in Biafra covered River State. It will be very, very wrong of him to say that. If, for example, a particular people supported Biafra, you don't take it, there's nothing wrong about it. Everybody looks for where will it suit us? What will be our own interest? But for you to say, because some sections in River State supported Biafra, means that the whole River State supported Biafra. It is very childish, it's very, something you can say is not quite informed. Which history did he read? Let him tell me the history he read. Does he know that in River State you have a lot of ethnic groups? You have the Calabaris, you have the Okrikans, you have the Kores, you have the Epeyes, you have the Abuas, you have the Che, you have the Ogonis. All these people, that's what River State is. One state. You cannot say you have one ethnic group. That's why it's a complex state. You cannot say. So is he telling me the Ogonis are Igbos? Is he telling me the Calabaris, the Okrikans, or the Jaws in River State are Ogonis? Is he telling me the Epayas are Ogonis? Is he telling me the Obas are Ogonis? Is he telling me the Koreans are Ogonis simply because we may have some relationship in terms of names, just like you said, Dele Momudu, Dele Giwa, who you would think are Yorubas? What kind of history are people bringing?
Again, being a clever person, Onyesom Wike just asked some pertinent questions that make sense. Will IPOB say that Ijaws and Calabaris and Ogonis and quite a few other ethnic groups in Rivers are Igbos? The answer is that if IPOB says that, the answer is that those people are not Igbos. But Wike cannot deny that there are a lot of authentic Igbos in the Ikwere region of Rivers State. And the Eches of Rivers State have a lot of authentic Igbos amongst them. This story is not a story of who is right or wrong. That's not the issue. It's the story of how one ethnic group with a conquering agenda in Nigeria, which is the Fulani, the cabal among the Fulani, set out to divide and conquer different parts of Nigeria. And to my Yoruba brothers and sisters, I think this is where you come in. Never mind that you are enjoying a honeymoon today with Fulanis because it's convenient for them and they're compensating you with things you think you're enjoying. No condition is permanent. Remember that it's the same Fulani people that came into Western Nigeria and put a wedge between Chief Obafemi Awolowo and Akintola. It's no different from what they are doing with Igbos and their fellow Igbos in Delta and their fellow Igbos in River State and their neighbors who they got along with before the war. So while you're doing your Igbo Must Go and buying into the brainwash of the Fulani about what Igbo did to you or didn't do to you, now I'm talking to both Onyesom, Wike, and Yorubas. Remember that a person with an agenda to conquer only slows down to work with you for convenience on his way to achieve his agenda. When that agenda is achieved, he's coming after you. Until Nigerians, as a total group, decide that they want to put an end to the Fulani exploration and exploitation, we are not going to find peace in Nigeria. When you find peace in Yorubaland and chaos in Igbo land, it's temporal. When they achieve what they are looking for in Igbo land, they are coming for Yorubaland. When they achieve what they are looking for in Yorubaland, they are going for this southern areas. Until we in the South learn how to understand that Emeka did something to Tunde doesn't mean that Igbo people did something to Tunde. That Bayo did something to Onyeka doesn't mean that Yoruba people did something to Igbo people. That one person offended you shouldn't have you paint a broad brush across the entire ethnic group. That's all I have to say today. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you with another edition of Bull Talk on Island TV. And until next time, good night and God bless.
If you bunye go kwanu mo no fube nazo olaga ni piazugo mmanwu olaga do ni piazugo akwa nwa mwilochi o biko rapuzo kona bazia edogu kenelu bikechofo kwa mnika gogodia waligwe kwelona ikejo babele bege hey you want edogu kenelo bikechofo ama kwa mnika gogodia waligwe kwelona ikejo babele bege hey you want eku kampune kene omogo ndi nso chukwe mekalumo Chukwu negaji esi nwanne m ekene ịlapụ ife niile na-eme wee bịa ka gosili na anyị na gị bụ nwanne wisdom ga-adị ka nye gị maịkị ka ogobanya bụ egwu isili maxi ọ bụ na-etiri egwu a malụkwa malụ n'imego m ife ọjọọ wesi gị nwanne m ife ọbụ na ịchọlụ na ngeme wisdom onume ekene gị gbamanwe iyo biko lapụ Zoro, 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 zoro. Duru joy na bugwa osa Sokoto Ujembe mwilo Anu solo mwe manofia nara Onye nwuro zurike